Start with two new protocols, that is Telnet and SSH. Okay. Does anybody know like what is this Telnet and SSH? Mhm. What is access actually? The whole device or some part? What do you access? You actually access the CLI of that one. What is CLI? Command line interface. Okay. So let's check what are these two, Telnet and SSH. Telnet is also called, it's short for what? Teletype network. So it's a network protocol used for remote access and management of the devices such as servers, routers, and switches. It operates on the port number 23 by default and allows users to execute commands on the remote device as if they were accessing it locally. I think when I was teaching this TCP, I think I've used this Telnet, right? I did. I've shown you on that Wireshark. On that time, I used Telnet. Yes. What was the port number? 20. Port number, it was a 23 only. Okay. The same Telnet what we are going to see now. Okay. So what exactly this one is? It is a kind of a protocol which is used for what? Just to access the management or a CLI of that device. It may be router, it may be switch, it may be anything. Okay. So just to change any kind of a configuration or troubleshoot that one. Understood? Via network. So if the device is not in the network, then what are the options we have? If the device is not in the network, then what are the options we have to access the device? Wireless. How? I said it is not in the network. We have only one option, that is a console. Okay. If the device is not on the internet, sorry, the network. Okay. In that case, what we're going to do? We're going to use a console cable just to connect it directly. Okay. If that is on the internet or the network, we can access that with the help of Telnet, SSH, HTTP, HTTPS, okay, and then the SNMP. So these are the different types what we can access a device if that is in a network. Understood? So this is also this Telnet and SSH. It is also a type of this thing. Okay, where the device should be on the network, then only you will be able to access the or execute some commands on the remote device as if they are directly connected. Okay, just like what I'm here and sitting and accessing the switch or a router here. Okay, so the key features of this telnet, the first one, remote access, like it will enable the users to interact with the device's command line interface over a network. That's what I said. What it will help us, it will enables the users to what, interact with the device through that CLI, okay, over the network. That is very important. If it is not on the network, then we can't able to take the access of that CLI of the device. Okay. So here, whatever that data goes, whatever the data goes, or it may be command, it may be a password, it may be anything. Okay. It is totally in the plain text. I hope you know the difference between plain text and yeah. What is that? Which one? Cipher is a encrypted one and plain is a totally plain text. Okay, just like what? If I'm giving a username called Arun K, okay, this is my username. When it comes to the telnet, it goes as it is, and even the password also. Okay, so let's suppose Arun 1234. This is my password. Okay, So in Telnet, it goes as it is. But when it comes to the ciphertext, okay, it will not cipher this username, but it will cipher the password. Okay, so for something like if it is Arun1234, it may be like something like that. Okay, it is totally encrypted. You can't understand this one. Okay, that is called what? Ciphertext. Understood? So understood the difference between plain text and the cipher? Yes. So text-based communication, like all commands and responses are in a plain text. And the second one is third one, platform agnostic. It can be used across the different types of devices and operating system. It is not like it is only restricted to some particular devices or a particular operating system. It's supported by all the operating system and all the devices here. Okay. And simplicity, it requires minimal setup and resources. It doesn't have a lot of setup here, a lot of commands and all. Okay, with very few, one or two commands, okay, we can able to enable this telnet on the device. Okay, so how exactly this telnet works on the devices? A user establishes a telnet connection to a remote device using a telnet client. Okay, so let's suppose this is my client. Okay, I'm connected with the network. Okay, it may be wired or wireless. Yes, but the thing is like I have to be in the same network. Understood? And then I'll go to the putty and I'll just say whatever the IP address I have. Okay, how we access the devices? Just go to this putty or some other tools will also be having. You just need to go to, if you want to use the SSH, you can click on this SSH and you have to give the IP address of that one. Okay, and if you're trying to access it via telnet, you have to go it on other and you have to go to the telnet. Okay, if I go on telnet, what is the port number it is having? If I go to the SSH, 22. So remember these two port numbers. Okay, so the client will establish a telnet connection to a remote device using what? A remote client. And the client sends a commands to the remote device and device responds in a plain text. And whatever the communication is happening between the client and the remote device, okay, the total communication will be in the total plain text. It is not even any ciphered or encrypted. Okay. So the connection is persistent until the user logs out of the or disconnect it. Okay, until the user goes out of that connection established, it will be there continuously. Understood? So that is what the telnet is. But there are some limitation as compared to the SSH. We have some disadvantages in the telnet. So what are those? The first thing what we are saying, the encryption is totally not there. Okay, you can see there no encryption. That means the data including username and password is transmitted in a plain text. Okay, so some attackers like you guys, okay, he'll just get into the network. He can able to see everything. Everything means what? What are the username he's giving? What is the password? And what is the commands he's trying to give? So everything he can able to see that. Okay, so this is why this is what the first disadvantage of having this telnet, and that is why we use this inside a secure network or isolated network. We don't use it over the network or internet. Understood? So it makes vulnerable to intercept or eavesdropping. Okay, that means it is totally vulnerable. Understood? So that can be what? Exploited if the username and password have been known. So security concern. So telnet is not suitable for used over a untrusted network such as what? Internet. That's what I said you. We can't use this telnet over the internet. Yes, we can use it inside this. Okay. If I want to access that switch or router, I can go on that network and I'll just say telnet and that IP address. Yeah, this is secure one because I am inside a network in my network. If I'm trying to access a device which is present in somewhere else over the internet, so at that time we can't use this telnet. We have to go forward SSH. Okay. So often this is replaced by whom? SSH. That is nothing but the secure shell, which provides a encrypted communication. Okay. So this is what the configuration what we have for the telnet. So first one, a line VTY. I mean, you have to enable the line VTY here. I mean, virtual terminal. Okay. And once you say line VTY, the virtual terminal will be enabled. And after that, whatever the numbers you can able to see here, that is 0 space 4. That means this is nothing but what? This is the total number of users you are allowing to on that particular device. Okay. At the same time, 5 people can take the access of this one. Okay. At the same time, 5 people can take the access, remote access of that particular device. What do you mean by this now? 4. Okay. Understood. So maximum you can go up to 16. Okay. Maximum it is. Understood. So after that, you have to give the password here. I mean, you have to set a password for Telnet access. It is not like it is totally open for everyone. Okay. You can give the password just to enter into the Telnet. Okay. And after that, you have to say login and enable the login authentication. After that, transport input Telnet. Okay. So this is what the command which will allow the Telnet connection. Okay. You have some options like what? Transport input. Okay. Which will allow you to give the SSH and the Telnet. Okay. Or all, or even you can say none. I'll show you later once I'm configuring it. So that means if you say transport input SSH, it's going to allow only SSH communication. Okay. If you give only Telnet, it's going to allow only Telnet. If you say all, that means it will allow both Telnet and SSH. If you say none, nothing will be permitted here. Okay. So after that, you have to give the enable password. So enable password is really important when it comes to remote connection. Why it is important? Why it is important? Even though anybody take the access of the device, if you give the enable password, okay, that is kind of a double password, I can say, double security. Understood? So getting into the Telnet or SSH, for that also you need a login credentials, like just like your username and password. And after that, if you go for the user execution mode, okay. So after that, if you want to configure the device, then where you have to go? Global configuration mode. Okay. So to go to the global configuration mode, anyway, you have to enable the privilege mode. At that time, it will ask you a password. Okay. It's kind of what? A double security, I can say here. Okay. And this is what the encryption method, what we use for what? Encrypting the password here. Okay. So it will encrypt all the password in the configuration. Whatever the password you have given in this configuration, it will be encrypted. Okay. With the help of this, only one command, that is service password encryption. Okay. So next we have the second one, SSH. SSH stands for what? Secure shell. So it's a cryptographic network protocol that provides a secure way to access and manage the devices. Just like what? Servers, routers, switches over an unsecured network. So it is just like what? The Telnet, this is also secure shell, also helping us to take the remote of the devices, remote access of the devices over the internet. Okay. So it is used for what? Remote login and command execution on the devices CLI. But what is the difference between the Telnet and SSH? Telnet is not secure and this is a secured one. Okay. How it is secured one? Let's discuss. The first one, encryption will take place here. Like SSH encrypt all the data, ensuring that sensitive information like username, password, command, even commands also, they cannot be intercepted and even tampered. Okay. And second one is what? Authentication takes place here. What kind of authentication? Methods like what? Password based authentication and the key based authentication. Password based means what? Here it requires a username and password. And then key based authentication, it uses a public and private key pairs for stronger security. Okay, so there's a key generation called RSA. Okay, with the help of this one, this SSH is going to generate a key for different sizes. Okay, you can vary that size in this one. Okay, start with 0, 5, 12, like that. Okay, we'll see that one later whenever we do that one. So next is file transfer. Here it is going to allow or facilitate the secure file transfer using the SCP, that is Secure Copy Protocol, or even you can say SFTP, Secure Shell File Transfer Protocol. Okay, so what is the port number here? Port number 22. It's a default port number which will be used at the transport layer of the OSI. Just to understand, this is what? This is a SSH. Okay, so how exactly this works? Same as a telnet, the connection establishment will takes place like the client initiate the connection to the server. Okay, and then the server is going to respond with a public key for authentication. Okay, if I'm trying to access one device, a device's CLI, understood? So I'm going to give what? Username and password. So for the double security purpose, what the SSH will do? It will give a public key. So and it asks for what? One private key. So I'm giving this public key. So can you just confirm with your private key? So if both are getting matched, then only the connection establishment will takes place. Okay. So authentication, a client authenticates using password or a private key, and the server verifies the credential or the cryptographic key. So these are the two methods it used for the authentication purpose. Next is session is totally encrypted. You can see once it is authenticated, a secure session will be established and all the communication is totally encrypted. Even your commands will also be encrypted in this SSH. Clear? So you can see the configuration here. First one, you have to change the host name here, host name of the router or whatever the device what we are using. Next, you have to give the domain name. Why it need domain name? Just because, as I said you, it's going to generate one keys. Okay, so because of that one, on the same domain name, whatever the domain name is set there, on the same one, it's going to generate that key. Okay, so just for that reason, we have to give this domain name here. Okay, after that, you have to enable the crypto key generation with the help of RSA, and then you have to give how many bits that should be, what should be the modulus of that particular key what you're generating here. Okay, so choose a key length. I mean, however your key length goes higher, that much the encryption goes stronger. Okay, so 512, yeah, we'll see later. So next is IPSS version. So it is optional, you can give or you may not. And then you have to give the username and password. Okay, and then you have to enable the line VTY, and then after that you have to say login local. So if you say just login, what will happen? It will not ask you for the username. Okay, it will just ask you for what? Password. If you go with login local, it will ask you both username and password. Okay, this is the use of what? Login and login local. So as I already said you, transport input SSH. Okay, this time you have to give SSH. If you are going with a telnet, you can give telnet. Okay, that's it. So what is the method? Sorry, what is that command I said to encrypt the passwords? Password encryption command. Service password encryption. I'm just assigning IP address, okay? And open 10. Okay. So I have taken a router and a PC. Okay. So from this PC, I'm gonna take the access of this router with the help of this Telnet and SSH. Okay. So let's go and try to configure the Telnet now. What I said, first we have to do what? Lines VTY. Okay. If I say question mark, it will give you some different options. So you can go and configure the auxiliary port also. Next is console port. Next is terminal controller and the virtual terminal. So all these kind of options are available. Then you can go for what? Now VTY. If I say question mark, it says that what is the first line number? Okay, so that should be 0. If I say question mark again, what is the last line number? So just give it as what? Whatever the number, up to 15 you can give. Okay, so just say enter and then you have to give the password. So let's give it as a Cisco. Okay, and then enter, and after that you have to say login, done, and then that's it. This is what the password, sorry, the telnet configuration is. If you want to go for the next one, so I'll just show you transport input. If I say question marks, are the same options what I said. One is all protocols, none, no protocols is allowed. Next is SSH, only TCP/IP SSH protocol, and Telnet TCP/IP Telnet protocol is allowed. Yeah, okay. And other than this, we can give yeah, we have to give the enable password later. Okay, so in Telnet, that is it. We have only 4 here. First, we have to enable the line VTY, and after that, you have to give the password, and then you have to say login authentication. That's it. Okay, even though you are not giving this one, that is okay. Transport input telnet or something. Okay, now let's give it as what? Telnet. Okay, done. So exit from this one, and you have to give the enable password. Okay, so again it's Cisco. Okay, that's it. Done. So let's go to PC now. And how to access? You just need to go to the command line and just say telnet. Okay, telnet and the destination address 10.1.1. Okay, if I say enter, it will ask for what? Password. Okay, so it's a Cisco. It's not visible, let me tell you. Okay, if I say exit, let me do it again. If I'm giving password, it is not visible. Okay, so you may think like if it is showing nothing, it's not getting typed. Okay, you just type it and hit enter, it will be working. Okay, and if I say enable and enter again, what it says? Give me the enable password. Okay, So that again, Cisco, same thing. Okay. So I'm into router where I'm exactly in where on the PC and I'm trying to access the router here over the network. Okay, that's why I said your device should be on network. Then only you'll able to take the access of the router. Okay, so now let's change anything like interface gigabit Ethernet 0/1 and give the IP address on this one 20.1.1 with 255.0.0.0. Okay, and after that we can just say no shutdown. Okay, so now this router is allowing this PC, okay, this user who is sitting on this PC to change any kind of a configuration here. Okay, if you go and check it on the router, it shows that interface gigabit Ethernet 0/1 got up. Did I change it on router? I changed it on PC by taking the remote access of that device. Okay, and even if you want to check the IP address, there it goes. The same IP address I assigned 20.1.1.1. Okay, this is very simple. Yes. If you feel over network also that is secure one, then there also you can use. Yeah, now if I say show running configuration, what is the enable password? Cisco. What is telnet password? Okay, now let's run that service password encryption. Okay, so just say enter. Now if you say do show run, what it says, it is totally encrypted now. Okay, here also it did. So it's what I said. If you say encrypt all, okay, it's gonna encrypt all the passwords, only password. Do you, what is that? So username I haven't given, right? Okay, I'll show it later in the SSH. Okay, it's not gonna encrypt the username, but it will do it with the password only. Okay, now let's go to SSH. It's bit longer. Okay, so for that, what I have to do, I have to change the host name of the device, host name. So let's make it as a R1. Okay, after that, we have to say, was that IP domain IP domain name google.com, whatever you can say. Okay, so for that only it's going to generate what? The crypto key. Okay, if I say question mark, generate or zero or remove the keys. Okay, so I'm just say generate with the help of what? It is having only one, that is a RSA. Okay, and just say enter. If I say enter, it says like please give me a number between range of 360 to 4096 for your general purpose keys. So choosing a key module greater than 512 may be a take few minutes. Okay, it doesn't take that much of what do you call time. So you can see here the name for keys will be for what? R1 and the domain name what you have given. So that is why it will ask for change the host name and the it will ask us to give the domain name here. Okay, on the same host name and the domain name only, it's going to generate the keys. Yes, so let's give it as like 1024. Okay, it generated a key here. Yes, so after that you have to say you have to give the username. Username, just give it as a Cisco, and then privilege, just give it a full privilege 15, and just make it as a secret password. Secret. Just give 15. Yeah, what it says, if you give 0, specifies the unencrypted secret will follow, and if you give 5, specifies a hidden secret will be following, and if you just give line, then it is unencrypted. That means a clear text will be given here. Okay, yeah. Mm, can give us Cisco. Okay. And then you have to give the line VTY03, and then you have to say login local. Okay. And this time you can say transport input SSH. Done. Exit. And don't need to give the enable password again because you already given the enable password. Done. Okay. Let's try to access it now from the PC. So how to access this one? You can see here. You have to say SSH space hyphen local. L means what? Local. And after that you have to give what? The username what you are given. What is the username I have given? Cisco. And after that, the host name. That means the IP address of that particular router that you want to take the access. Okay. So let's go to the PC. Till it is on the like a capital or something. No. First name I have to give this one for username. One second, guys. Password. Okay, let me check this one. We'll discuss it later. Okay. Remove what? It's already done. It's gone. Yeah. Can you see any talent here? Okay, I'll tell you. Don't worry. Hmm. That's for just showing you how the configuration may get changed. Okay. Now I'm in. Is it working? Sometimes this PPT now. Yeah, this one I said you now. Okay, what is that? If you want to set a password, okay, you just need to go to the global configuration mode, and then you have to go what? Line VTY. This is for both Telnet and SSH. Okay, review the password, and then at last, what you have to say? Okay, just to enable your password secret, what you have to say? You have to say service password encryption, and the same thing I shown you. Okay. Okay, in wireless, what we have for CCNA syllabus, we have only the protocols we use for what? Network wireless security. Wireless security purpose, whatever the protocols we use here. Okay, only that we have, what we have to study in CCNA. Okay, so you already know that whatever the things we studied till now, it was everything was a wired one. Yes. So what is wired network? What is wired network? Where we use a physical connection or physical channels to transmit the data from one end to another end. Yes. So what is wireless? Obviously, we are going to use what? Air. That's nothing but the radio frequency. Okay. So what are the types of this wireless network? You already studied in wired. That same we'll be having in the wireless also. WLAN, WMAN, WWAN, WPAN. Okay. WLAN is nothing but what? It is limited to certain particular area. It will be covering some schools or college campus or office building. Okay, what is the maximum distance it can cover? Up to 300 feet or 100 meter. Okay, so WPAN means what? The maximum distance it can cover up to 10 meter. Okay, it is a personal network which can't connect to a local device. Sorry, which can be connected to a local network. So WMAN is what? It connects some multiple places in a city. It can cover up to 50 to 90 kilometers. And WWAN is nothing but it covers a larger area like the two cities or even the countries. Okay, so these are some different types of the wireless network. And after that, we have to see what are the different things, what are the different devices we need to create a wireless network. So first one we want what? WAP. What is WAP? Wireless access point. Okay. So before that, we need wireless clients also. Wireless clients means what? Just like our, just like our laptops or PCs or mobiles or everything like that. Okay. So with the wireless NIC is really important. Without that one, they will not be able to access the network. And then after we need the access point, and then to control these access points, we need what? WLAN controller, which will give you a centralized management of all these APs in the network. Okay. So I hope you know the SSID, right? What is SSID? Sorry, name of the SSID stands for hmm. Service set provider. Okay. So whatever the names you can able to see here. Wi-Fi IDP third floor, trainer backup third floor, LG wall mount, Geo12, 5G. So all these are called as what? SSIDs. Through that you can see here, it is the name of a Wi-Fi network. By this, the client devices can identify and join the network. Okay. So next we have the different wireless security protocols. Majorly, totally we have four wireless network protocols. Okay, wireless network protocols. So in that first one is what? WEP. First WEP, wired equivalent privacy. So this is the first wireless network security protocol, which is introduced in the year 1997. Okay, so this is being the first security protocol for the Wi-Fi networks. So at that time, the encryption method which is used by this WEP was like RC4 stream cipher for encryption. I'm not going to explain all these encryption methods. You can you can study that later. So it uses or utilizes the method that is called RC4 stream cipher for encryption purpose, where it's gonna use 64-bit or 128-bit encryption keys. That's it. Okay, because this is the initial stage of the network security for the wireless. Okay, so what are the strength of this one, which we used to give or provide the basic encryption and was a significant step forward for what? Wireless security at that time. Okay, in the year 1997. And some weaknesses. So it had some weaknesses. So that is the reason. So it didn't work for longer years. Okay. So the first weakness is what? It used to give a static key. Static key means what? If I'm able to, so this is my Wi-Fi and I'm going to connect with a client. Okay. So whenever the connection is got establishes, at that time the Wi-Fi is going to give a key, a static key. That's it. It is not going to give extra encrypted keys continuously. Okay, so what will happen if attackers like you, what will happen if he knows that key, then he can easily tamper whatever the, or he can see whatever the data is being transmitted between the client and the Wi-Fi device. So this is what the major disadvantage of having this WEP, that is wired equivalent privacy. You can see here WEP uses a single or a shared key for encryption, which is prone to cracking. Okay, so vulnerabilities like a weak initialization vectors and reliance on RC4 make it susceptible to attacks. And then it is totally ease of hacking of this WEP network security, because we have some lot of tools. The genius minds like you, they developed some of the tools. Okay, some of the tools just to exploit these kind of attacks. Okay, so on the WP, vulnerabilities are widely available in the market just to make it insecure. And what is the status of this one now? That is totally considered as a obsolete. That means it's not being used now. Okay, because of it is totally insecure and it should not be used. Clear? And after this, they found one more, the second one, that is WPA. What is that? WPA, that's nothing but the Wi-Fi protected access. So it was introduced in the year 2003. Okay, I think it's some of your birth year, I guess. Okay. It was introduced in the year 2003 as an interim solution to address WEP's weaknesses. Okay, so this WPA used a method for the encryption that is a TKIP, Temporal Key Integrity Protocol. Okay, which is used to give the dynamic keys. What we have seen in the WEP, once initially start or establish a connection, it will give a static key, okay, which was prone to attack. But here in the TKIP, what it used to give, it used to give the dynamic keys. Okay, it used to change every time. Yes, so which dynamically changes for, changes keys for what? Every data packet, not only for once, it's going to change that key for every data packet here. Okay, so what were the strengths of this? Improved the security over WEP with a per packet key generation, and then backward compatible with some older hardware as well. Okay, it was compatible with what? Some older hardware as well. Yes. So, but here also this they found some weaknesses. What is that? TKIP vulnerability. Like TKIP is considered as a less secure than the modern encryption standards. Yes, obviously, if the newer one comes, the older one says that it is totally insecure. Okay. So after that, still it is susceptible to certain attacks like what? Dictionary attack. Okay. So that's the reason the status of this WP is what? Again, it is considered as a outdated because it is replaced with a modern network security that is called as what? WPA2. Okay. So this is WPA2 and WPA3 are currently used network security protocols in wireless. Okay. So now let's see the third one, that is WPA2. So it was released in the year 2004. That means WPA was used only for 1 year. Okay. So 2004 as a significant improvement over a WPA, and here it replaced that TKIP with a AES. That's nothing but the advanced encryption standard, which is far more secure than the TKIP. Okay, where it gives some features like what? AES encryption, which provides a stronger encryption with a 128 bits or a 256-bit keys. And it ensures that message integrity and confidentiality as well. And then some strengths of this, it is robust and widely regarded as a highly secure for personal and enterprise use. So we can use it both in personal network also and in enterprise network also. Okay. So WPA2 enterprise supports a radius authentication for a enhanced security. So with this AES, okay, it supports a radius encryption also. Okay, so we have some radius and TACAX plus. We are going to see that one later. Okay, so this will help us for the authentication purpose, for AAA purpose. Okay, so this WPS2 started working with the radius just to enhance the security of the wireless network. So some weaknesses, it is vulnerable to brute force or a dictionary attack if the weak passwords have been given here. Okay. And one more attack, that is crack attack. It is a vulnerability discovered in the 2017, which affected the WPA2. But against that crack attack, they found one patch and they released in the market. So now it is currently working. Yes. So this is a mostly wide used standard until what? Until you adapt the WPA3. Okay. And the last one is what? WPA3, Wi-Fi Protected Access 3. So which was introduced in the year 2018 to address some of the WPA2's shortcoming and improve wireless security for a modern needs. Okay. So here also it uses the same, enhanced with a stronger encryption protocols and a forward secrecy. It uses a SAE, simultaneous authentication of equals, which replaces the PSK, pre-shared key exchange, making it resistant to offline dictionary attacks. So here individualized data encryption will take place, like it's going to protect the data traffic between the devices and the router, even in the public network also. Not only in the enterprise or a private network, we can use it in a public network. Okay, where it will help us to encrypt the whole data between the client device and the Wi-Fi. Okay. So it prevents the decryption of a past traffic if the key is compromised. Even the key is compromised with any attacker, he is not able to decrypt whatever the data is getting transmitted between the wireless client and the wireless access point. Strengths, it's gonna enhance the security and resilience against what? Modern attacks, and simplified setup for IoT devices with a easy connect. What is IoT? Okay, Internet of Things. So what are the devices we can say as the Internet of Things? So this WPA3 started supporting this IoT devices as well. Okay. So it is better protection on public Wi-Fi network. So if you just see the previous WPA and WPA2, it was not that effective on the public network. But this WPA3, which started giving the higher security on Wi-Fi, sorry, the public networks as well. Okay. But one weakness is what? It requires a newer hardware, making it less widely implemented in legacy devices. We're still using what? A older kind of a devices. On that one, it's not that compatible. Okay. So we have to have a newer devices that will be compatible with this WPA3 security protocol. Okay. And the current status is the latest and the most secure wireless security protocol, and which is recommended for a newer networks here. Okay. So these are the 4 network security protocols what we have. Okay. So let's try to make a simple wireless network. Mm, okay, this is my access point. I have connected, and these are the end client devices, wireless client devices. I'm gonna connect to this access point, and let's make the communication between this wired network and the wireless network. Okay, with the help of some protocols. What we studied now? What protocols? So I'm gonna use the WPA2. Okay, so let's go to the access point and go to config and port 1. You can see here WPA2. Can you see that with a PSK passphrase? So just give it as a Cisco 1234. This is my password. You can see here. So encryption methods. We have TKIP and a AES. So just go with the AES and just change the SSID also. Okay. So just give it as a image. Done. So it is on. Now you can see that the mobile got disconnected. Why it was connected before? Before it was not having any kind of a password. Okay. So, but the thing is, like, whenever you go with this, why these were not connected? Why only mobile? Because these devices, they have a wired one. They don't have a wireless. So just connect the wireless module. Just drop it here, take this one and connect it here. Okay. And make it on again. That's it. Okay. So let's go to laptop and make it off. Drag and drop this one and connect it here, make it on again. And on printer also, you can do the same thing, make it off, wired, wireless. On this one, it was having wired, no? Okay. And on mobile, it is already having a wireless NIC, so you don't need to do anything. So let's go to PC2 and try to connect to the Wi-Fi. Okay. You can able to see here, just go to PC wireless. Okay. So it says that no association with the access point. So how to connect this one? Just go to connect. Here it will be having some site information. Just click on the wireless mode. Okay. Here it will be giving you the available SSID. Okay. Just say connect here. If you say connect, it will ask for what? WPA2 password. So it was like Cisco 1, 2, 3, 4. Just say connect here. You can see that it got connected. Yes. Okay. Even you can see here, you have successfully connected to the access point. So let's go to this PC and go to desktop, PC wireless, and then connect, and then wireless mode, NH, connect, password, Cisco 1, 2, 3, 4. Just say done. It's connected. Great. So let's go to config, wireless, and here WPA2, PSK is there, right? So Cisco 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. Done. So given the password. So let's here config wireless WPA2 PSK and then Cisco 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. Great. Why the printer and PC, sorry, the mobile didn't get connected? Yes. IP address, no. Wireless. समझा नहीं. I didn't get you. The given physical, right? Here it is.
Like you turn down the access point to the device. Like you given the access point password on the access point. If you don't find any on side inside this, but how you go to it? How?
At least somebody noticed. That's what I was expecting. Okay. Now I can see the printer will be connected. Here also. Done. You're connected wirelessly. Now let's try to give the assign the IP addresses on them and try to ping them from wired to wireless. What IP address it has taken? IP address. What was the IP address it has taken before? Huh? So okay, leave it. If your DHCP is there in the network, then you can enable the DHCP. Okay, let's try to ping 10.1.1.2. So PC is pinging. So let's go to check and laptop. Laptop is pinging. Okay. So try to ping the printer is also pinging. Next, we have mobile. What IP address are given on that one? Or then on this one? Acha. Oh, what is this one? I didn't give it. Two is already given. Let's give it 6. Why I'm giving us a default? wireless. This is 4. Let's go with the 6. That's also big. Okay. This is what I will just show you like how we can use a wireless security protocols. Okay. Other than this, we'll have different what do you call? We have WLC also, we have Meraki also. Okay. You can check all of them if you want. Okay. So here they will allow you to see here in GUI mode, you can see what are the different IP address you want to assign here. Okay. If you want to block any kind of a MAC address, everything will be here. Okay. You can check this one and try to. This is what the actual Wi-Fi device. This is what you have to.
Not using. Then lead device using or not.
Hmm?
Then lead device is not using.
These device?
This home router is not usable.
No.
Only access point.
Even you can block this also. Some different applications. Ping, HTTP, HTTPS, FTP, POP3. So all this kind of DNS. Yes. Check them, whatever the options it has. Okay.
So real-time have unified master
No, for that you have to be in the network and then you have to go to the any browser. On that browser, you have to access that IP address. Then it will allow you to. Okay.
Still, how many topics we left?
Sorry?
How many topics we left to complete this game?
Maybe your 7, 8. Yeah. Next, we'll see AAA. Okay. So now most of the topics they are remaining with theoretical part. Okay. So we'll see the AAA. It's kind of a security protocol. Okay. So AAA stands for what? Authentication, authorization, and accounting. So these are the 3 fundamental concepts of security and access control, often implemented together in a network system to ensure that secure and accountable resource usage. Okay. So what are these 3? First one, the authentication. What is authentication? It is a process of verifying the identity of a user or device or a system attempting to access a resource. Okay. For example, if any device is trying to access a network, so you are going to ask him, who are you? Okay. Who are you means what? Obviously, you are going to ask him, what is the username and what is the password? Okay. That's called as what? Authentication. What is the purpose of this one? Just to ensure that the entity is who and what it claims to be. Okay. He's a legitimate one or he's some kind of a attacker or he is trying to get the access unauthorizedly. Yes. So just to confirm that one, we go for the authentication. Okay. With the help of some, with the methods of like password or biometric, just like fingerprints or facial recognition, and then the tokens like a smart card or OTPs or certificates or a digital keys. Okay. After this, what will be the output? A successful or a failed verification of identity. Okay. If you're giving the username and password correctly, then you will be successfully logged in. If it is not, then it will be failed. Okay. For example, logging into the computer with a username and password, or else using a fingerprint scanner to unlock a device. This is called as what? Authentication. Next, after authenticating, it will go for authorization. That means authorization determines what action or resources a user system is allowed to access after authentication. Okay. For example, you will come inside my class. Okay. If you are known, then I will allow you to get into my class. If you don't know, what I'll ask, who are you and why you're here for? Okay. This is called as what? This is called authentication. Okay. Yes, I know you. I'll let you inside my class. But you are allowed to do only few tasks here. Okay. You're not allowed to sit here and do whatever what I'm doing. Understood? That is called as what? Authorization. Okay. Here it is going to define and enforce access, permission, and privileges. What privileges he is having? Okay. Like what? It is again based on what? A role-based access control or attribute-based access control or a time or location-based policies. Based on this, he is going to authorize that one. Just like what? A decision on whether the user or a system can perform some requested operation or not. Okay. If I allow you, you can touch my laptop and you can do anything. If I don't allow you, you don't have to touch anything here. This is called as what? Authorization. Yes, I'm going to allow you inside my classroom, but you are not allowed to touch my laptop. Just an example. Okay. So for example, you can see here, a user can access the email, but he cannot access the administrative tools. Just like what? He can read my email, but he can't reply back to that. So this is kind of what? Authorization. And some kind of what? A junior employee can read the files, but cannot modify or delete that file. So this also can be done in the authorization. Okay. And once this is done, everything will be accounted. Accounted means what? Recorded. Exactly. So accounting is the process of tracking or logging the activities performed by the user or a device or a system for monitoring, auditing, and reporting purpose. Okay, what will happen? I'll just allow you and you will be sitting in my class and you will be accessing or you will be using these devices. Okay, I have to see at what time you came in. Okay, at what time you sat, where you sat, after sitting, what you done. Okay, what you touched, everything will be logged here. Okay, in actual devices, what will happen? In actual devices or networking devices, this user called Arun, okay, at what time he logged in, after logged in, what kind of files he accessed, and after accessing those files, any changes he has done on that files. Okay, all these changes, all this file access, everything will be logged here in the accounting. Understood? So to maintain an audit trail of a resource usage for compliance, troubleshooting, or a billing purpose, you do this accounting. Okay. So just like what the activities will be tracked, just like what login and logout time, commands executed, a data accessed or modified, and these kind of the actions will be tracked whenever you get into any network. Okay. So output will be like logs and reports for analysis and accountability. For example, you can see logging the user's login time, duration of the access, and the resources he used. And storing records of those changes made to sensitive files for a forensic analysis. This is for the future use. Okay. So how exactly these three works together? Authentication, it ensures that the usage is legitimate. Okay, after authenticating him, he is going to determine what resources the authenticated user can access into the network. And after that, records the user's activity for the future reference. For example, a user logs into a network by authenticating, and the system checks the user permission to access a file by authorizing him, and then the system logs the user's file access and actions performed by him, okay, by accounting all those logs there. Okay. So practical implementation in network is like what? Authentication is like a username and password verified by the Radius or a TACAX Plus. These are the AAA servers I can see you. Okay. Authorization, it's gonna permit or permission policies defined by for different users. I hope you already know that admin will be having some different privileges and a guest will be having some different privileges. So these privileges will be given in the authorization. And after that, accounting. So logs will be maintained for user sessions and command execution for the compliance and or a troubleshooting purpose. Okay, everything will be accounted here. Understood? So this is what called AAA. Okay. Let's go with the VPN. Okay, very simple. Within 5 minutes or 10 minutes, we'll complete this one. Yes. Okay. What is VPN? Okay. What is virtual private network? Sorry.
It's a virtual.
So virtual. Okay, good. Where exactly you use this VPN? Do you use VPN while playing PUBG or something? You do?
Network is relying it allows the office to access to another network in another system. So it allows to replicate host changing of location.
Changing of location.
I mean, allow to restricted hosts changing and access, give access proxy that proxy network and without showing its location or details.
But the actual VPN is not that one, what you are thinking about. It's not going to change the location. It's not going to do
It's all secure,
anything.
provide secure.
It is totally for the security purpose. Okay. For example, let me tell you. Okay, you only answer me. I have a branch office. Okay. I have a branch office in Bangalore. Okay, let's say it as a, sorry, we have a headquarter in Bangalore. Okay. And then we have some branches in the other cities, just like what? Where? Huh? Noida. Okay. We have a headquarter in Bangalore, and these are what? The branch offices. Okay. Now tell me, I want the secure connection between this branch office and the headquarter. So what are the options we have? Can we lay a separate cable from Bangalore to Pune, Bangalore to Delhi, Bangalore to Chennai? Can we do that? Yes, it is possible, right? It is possible, but it is very costly. So that is the reason what we are going to do. We are going to use the existing method what we are having. What is the existing method? What is the existing option we have? Exactly, it is the internet. Okay, this is the only option we have. Yes, but internet is totally insecure. Some of the talented attackers like you guys are sitting in the internet. Okay, so that is the reason what we started using. We started using the VPN. It is nothing but virtual private network. we are going to create a tunnel between these headquarter and the branch offices. Okay, what we're going to do here? We are going to create a tunnel between this headquarter and a branch offices that no one can be tampered. Okay, so how a tunnel will be? Have you gone through a tunnel? How exactly it will be? Tunnel. I mean, you have to get in, you will not be having any other path in between. So you have to get in and you have to get out. I mean, you have only two paths, entry and exit. That's it. You don't have any other paths. So here also it will be the same. Why they call it as a tunnel? So once you're sending the data, okay, the data will not be going any other way. It has to go and reach the only destination. Entry and exit. That's it. Okay, with some extra security. Okay, that's what a VPN is. You can see here. A VPN is nothing but what? Virtual private network. It's a technology that establishes a secure encrypted connection over a less secure network, just like what? Internet. What it does? It's gonna establish a secure encrypted connection over a less secure network, just called what? Internet, and it's gonna ensure the security and anonymity for users and organizations by creating virtual private communication channel. Okay, what it will do? It's going to establish a connection with ensured security and anonymity over a less secured network that is called internet. Okay, with the help of one technology called tunneling. Okay, what is tunneling here? VPNs encapsulate the data packets within another data packet to protect them from being read or tampered with during the transmission. So what it does, it's gonna take that data packet and it's going to encapsulate that data packet within one more data packet. By that, it cannot be tampered, okay, or it cannot be read during what? The transmission of the data from source to destination. Okay, and this process is called as what? Tunneling. Okay, so it can be done with the help of some protocols called IPsec, Internet Protocol Secure, and then OpenVPN, PPTP, L2TP, and WireGuard. So these are some different protocols we use it for create a tunnels. Okay. So other than this, it will give the encryption also. Like encryption ensures that data is encoded in a way that only authorized parties can decode and read it. Okay, you have to have a proper authentication. You have to have proper username and password, whatever the thing they used for the authentication purpose. Okay, then only you can read the data, what it is you got from the source end. Yes. So encryption protocols such as what? AES, Advanced Encryption Standard, are used to secure the VPN tunnel. Okay. And then you have to use authentication, like VPNs authenticate the identities of devices or users to ensure that only authorized entities can access the network. So some methods like what? Password or a digital certificates or a multi-factor authentication will authenticate you. That means you are a legitimate or a proper person just to have this data or access this data. Okay. Next, how exactly this VPN works? The first is like what? You have to have a user device. Okay. On that device, you have to have a VPN tool. You can see a user connects to a VPN using a software or a VPN client. I hope you will be having some applications, right? Through that only you'll be able to connect. Yes. So like that, the tools or software should be installed into your system. Okay. So through that, the VPN or a user devices can reach the VPN server or a gateway. Okay. So the client establishes a secure tunnel with the VPN server located in the target network or a third-party provider's infrastructure. What do you mean by third-party provider infrastructure? It may be cloud as well. Okay. which may be giving you the services. Okay. So data transmission, all traffic is encrypted before it leaves the user's device. What will happen? When the data is going out of my device, here only it is going to create a tunnel between my device to the destination device. And when the data is leaving my device, everything will be encrypted and it will be encapsulated within one more packet there by creating a tunnel. Yes. So encrypted data traffic travels through the VPN tunnel to the VPN server. Okay, through the VPN tunnel, it's going to reach whom? VPN server or a VPN gateway, where it is connected near to the destination device. Okay. So after reaching the destination device, the VPN server is going to decrypt the data. Okay. So VPN server decrypt the data and forward it to its intended destination, just like what? Or a website or an internal corporate network. Okay. So this is how the VPN works. So to tunnel this one, I said like we use a well-known protocol called IPsec. Okay. So in IPsec also we have two types. One is what? Remote access VPN. And second one, site-to-site VPN. Site-to-site VPN. Okay, you can see here IPsec, Internet Protocol Security. It's a suite of protocols designed to secure internet communication by authenticating and encrypting data packets. Just like what we have seen in the same VPN. So what the VPN do? It just create a tunnel by authenticating or encrypting the data. So it is used to implement VPN tunnels, which provides a secure communication over the untrusted network. So VPNs are typically again classified into two types. I already said you. First one is remote VPN and the second one is a site-to-site VPN. In that first one, remote access VPN. So nowadays, like during this COVID time, so everybody working from home. Yes. So during that, the VPN, when the VPN got what do you call? Yeah, popularity. Okay, during the COVID only. Okay. So when I was working from home, yes, and I want to access data from my headquarter. So what I can do? I have to go through the internet. Okay, and internet is not that secure. So that's the reason they used to use this remote access VPN. Okay, they have to have one tool or a software on that system, and that software will allow the system to create a tunnel between the headquarters gateway to his device. This is called as what? Client access. That is totally restricted to a single person. Okay, here a device to one location tunnel will be created. What is site to site? What is site to site? It is not from one device to the location. It is from one location to another location. Here you don't need to create any tunnel between the device to the VPN server. Here the VPN server to VPN server tunnel will be created, location to location. Okay, you can see here. So a remote access VPN allows the individual users to securely connect to a private network from a remote location, such as what? Home or while traveling or over the internet. Okay. So with the help of this internet, a single individual can create a tunnel with the private network. Okay. In a different location, I can say. So use case is what? Primarily it's for employees or contracts or partners who needs access to the organization internal network remotely. So in this case, we can use the remote access VPN. Okay. What is the setup they need? The user should connect via VPN client software installed on their device. Device like what? Laptop or a smartphone or whatever he's using. Okay. Through that, he's going to connect. I mean, the VPN client is going to establish a secure IPsec tunnel to the VPN gateway to the organization network. Okay. So just like what? This is my headquarter. Okay. And somewhere individual is working here. So this will be creating a tunnel between the system and the headquarter internal network. Understood? So functionality, like it's going to encrypt all the traffic between users device and the private network. And it provides the access to resource as if they were physically present on the internal network. And then it is commonly supports authentication mechanisms such as password or a multi-factor authentication. So after this only, the headquarter VPN server is going to allow you to access the internal network here. Okay, otherwise it will not. Yes. So this is what the remote VPN is. Next is site-to-site VPNs. So site-to-site VPN means what? It connects the entire network to each other securely over the internet. It's kind of what? The same example I'm going to take it here. This is my headquarter and these are my 3 branch offices: Pune, Delhi and Chennai. Okay. So it's going to create a tunnel between the location, not from the device who is sitting in the Pune branch, not from the device, but from the Pune's VPN gateway to the Bangalore's headquarter VPN gateway. Okay, it's not from what? One particular device to the gateway here. Okay, so it is designed for permanent and secure connection between different office location, just like what? Headquarter and the branch offices or between some organization. Okay, so setup they need here, we need the VPN gateways. That's it. Okay. So VPN gateways typically routers or dedicated devices at each site handles a secure connection. If you create a tunnel between these 2 routers from one location to other location, that will be done. You don't need to create from your individual devices. Okay. So no client software is needed on individual devices. The VPN operates transparently to end devices because you will be sitting inside one secure network only. So you don't need to create from your device. It is already created between the locations from router to router. Okay. So functionality, it creates a permanent encrypted tunnel between the 2 sites and allows the devices in one network to communicate with the devices in the other network as if they were in the same local area network. Okay. So this is about the VPN. Clear? Any doubt? So clear what exactly VPN now? Yes, it's not about changing the location. Yes. Design Andra. Okay, Mr. Narendra and Vaishnav, we'll meet tomorrow at the same time. Till then, everybody take care.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.